Birthdays are supposed to be joyful, a time filled with balloons, cake, and the sound of laughter echoing through the house. But what if the clown you hired wasn't there to entertain? What if he came for something else entirely? Tonight, we dive into a chilling true story, a story that began with a party and ended in sheer terror. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon, the kind that promises nothing but good times. 8-year-old Max was practically vibrating with excitement. His parents had gone all out planning the perfect birthday party. Brightly colored streamers hung from the ceiling like festive jungle vines, and a mountain of gifts was piled high in the corner, just waiting to be torn open. But the real highlight, the main event that Max couldn't stop talking about, was the clown. A clown named Jingles, booked from a local entertainment company that had dozens of 5-star reviews. Everything was set for a day of pure, innocent fun. At 2 o'clock sharp, the doorbell chimed, its cheerful sound cutting through the happy chatter of the party guests. Max's father opened the door to find a tall man in a faded, slightly oversized clown suit standing on the porch. His rainbow wig was a bit lopsided, and the white face paint was smudged around his mouth, making his painted smile look unsettling. But he introduced himself as Jingles, his voice a low monotone. And Max's parents, caught up in the whirlwind of hosting a dozen energetic children, welcomed him in without a second thought. The heavy wooden door creaked shut behind him, sealing the house. At first, Jingles went through the motions. He twisted long, skinny balloons into squeaky approximations of dogs and swords, did a few silly shuffling dances, and told a string of awkward, unfunny jokes that were met with polite giggles. But something about him felt fundamentally off. He never actually laughed himself. His eyes, dark and unblinking, seemed to fixate on Max, following him as he moved around the room. He was a hollow shell of a performer, going through a routine he didn't seem to understand or enjoy. One of the other parents, trying to be helpful, asked him where he kept all his props. The clown just stared for a moment before replying, his voice flat, "I like to improvise." Then, from a deep pocket in his baggy trousers, he pulled out a small puppet. It wasn't colorful or funny like you'd expect. It was pale, made of worn wood, with carved, hollow eyes that seemed to stare into nothing. The atmosphere in the room began to shift. The playful energy slowly drained away, replaced by a quiet, creeping unease. Max's best friend, a boy named Leo, leaned over and whispered, "I don't like him." Max, feeling a cold knot tightening in his stomach, could only nod in agreement. The clown's jokes started to turn darker, less like party gags and more like unsettling riddles. He began mimicking voices, perfectly imitating Max's mother and then his father, which made the children exchange nervous glances. Then he started to tell a story. It was about a little boy who vanished on his birthday, taken away by a sad man in a colorful suit. The children's nervous laughter died out, leaving a heavy, ringing silence in its wake. Max's mom, feeling a prickle of alarm on the back of her neck, decided something needed to be done. Excusing herself, she stepped into the kitchen, her heart pounding a little faster than it should. She pulled out her phone and dialed the number for the entertainment company, just to check in, just to put her mind at ease. After a few rings, a cheerful voice answered. "Hello, Party Pals Entertainment?" Max's mom took a breath. "Hi, yes, we hired Jingles the Clown for our party today." There was a pause on the other end of the line. The voice that came back was laced with confusion. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. Our clown Jim, who performs as Jingles, he was in a car accident this morning. He couldn't make it to any of his bookings today." Her blood ran cold. The phone felt like a block of ice in her hand. Her heart dropped into her stomach. She slowly turned to peek through the doorway into the living room. The man in the clown suit was sitting alone on a chair, the party forgotten. He was staring directly at Max, his lips moving silently, whispering something under his breath that no one could hear. Panic, sharp and absolute, seized her. She rushed over to her husband, who was trying to distract the kids with a game, and whispered frantically what she had just learned. His face went pale. Without a word, they sprang into action, their movements calm but urgent. They quietly ushered the children into the back playroom, pretending it was time for a new, super-secret game. They locked the doors, drew the blinds, and one of them dialed the police, their voice a strained whisper. But the clown noticed, saw the subtle shift, the sudden exodus. He stood up slowly, his movements unnervingly graceful. He walked to the front door, dragging his little wooden puppet along the carpet behind him. He reached the porch and knocked once, a solid heavy thud. Then twice, louder, more insistent rap, then silence. The world outside the windows went completely still. Police cars screamed down the street just a few minutes later, their flashing lights painting the neighborhood in strobing blues and reds. They swarmed the property, searching every corner of the yard and the surrounding streets. But the clown was gone. He had vanished without a trace. There were no footprints in the soft grass, no tire tracks in the driveway. It was as if he had dissolved into thin air. The only thing they found was the puppet, left on the doorstep. Its hollow wooden eyes had been painted a stark, blood red. Max never forgot that day. The memory of the silent, staring clown was burned into his mind. And every year on his birthday, a small, unmarked package appears on his front porch. There's never a name, never a card. It's just a single gift inside. A small wooden puppet with red eyes. Some clowns are here to bring laughter and joy. Others, it seems, are here to bring nightmares. So be careful who you invite into your home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling tales.